Good morning. How are you all doing this morning? My name is Melissa Stansel, if you don't know me, and we've had a lot of new people join our team lately, and I know that everybody is really excited about doing vendor shows. So I wanted to do a quick little video just kind of talking about the best ways to set up a vendor show and to set up a table without spending a lot of money. I apologize, that's kind of shaky every time I touch my desk. It seems to wiggle, but these things happen. So everybody gets really excited about growing your business, especially when you first get started. So there's really one of two ways to meet people. You either know them already or you have to find a way to meet new people. So obviously going out to a vendor event is a great way to get in touch with a lot of new people without doing spammy things like cold messaging strangers on Facebook, which we don't recommend because that's terrible. Who wants to do that? You can always, connect with the people that you know on Facebook, but then you want to meet new people as well. One way you can do that is by Facebook groups, going into Facebook groups, engaging with people, becoming friends with people, learning about people and becoming their friends and building relationships with those people, and then becoming friends with them and having the opportunity to share your products with them in that fashion. Vendor shows are a really great way to get to meet a lot of people at one time, usually for a very small amount. So a couple of places that you can find vendor events, if you haven't done so already. Facebook has 1,000 vendor groups. If you just search for the words vendor and your area, you'll be able to come up with a ton of events. Things that I look for in an event, I look for things that are going to be well attended and low cost. So generally, I'm spending anywhere between, the tables range in so greatly. I mean, you can spend anywhere between $10 and thousands of dollars, but I'm generally sticking to the $25, $35, $50 table range because that's going to give me the most return on my investment. I don't have to sell a ton of product to break even. Okay. So a couple of things that you can do to get started. You don't want to have to invest hundreds of dollars getting your first table set up. So the very first thing that you absolutely positively need is Blitz cards. So these are, how do I get that in there? 4x6 postcards. I bought these from Vistaprint. In our team group, there is a template for this. As you can see, it is all compliant. It doesn't have any disease names. It's all backwards, sorry. But it has my contact information. It also has my Facebook Messenger code so people can scan me and connect with me on Messenger. That's a cute little thing to do at the table that everybody thinks is really cool. Blitz cards. So these are not a lot of money. You can get them from Vistaprint. The base cost for 50 starts at $15. But there's always a promo code for Vistaprint. Before you ever order anything from Vistaprint, Google search the words Vistaprint promo code and find out what promo codes you can find for this week. They usually have anywhere between 10, 15, 20, even 50% off. I usually try to stock up on Blitz cards when they have a 50% off sale. So Blitz cards is number one. Absolutely have to have these. When you are setting up your table, you do not necessarily have to have product. Is product nice to have? Yes. But you don't necessarily have to have product. You can do website orders at your table. So don't think that just because I don't have 16 bottles of oil that I can't do a vendor show. You can. Bring all your information, sell on your website at the event. You cannot, we have a very, very tight fraud system on our websites. You cannot set up multiple accounts from the same IP address. So when you're selling at your table and making a purchase on your website for a person who's standing in front of your table, I generally recommend that you say, let's grab your phone. We're going to do the order on your phone. And sometimes people are kind of weird about that, but then I always say, it's much safer for me to input your credit card information on your own phone. And then they go, oh, yeah, of course. So then I'm just going to go to my website. I'm going to set up their account. I'm going to press give me your credit card, I process their order, boom, it's on the way to you. You should have it in 4 to 5 days. Here's my information. Let me get your email address. I always have a sign-up sheet. Let me get your email address and I will email you the serving recommendations and the serving instructions so you know how to use your oil when it comes. You can purchase product and resell it. I don't recommend you do that with a single bottle. I recommend you do that with either a director pack or an executive pack. The director pack and the executive packs do give you a discount, so you get the bottles at an average cost of $50 a piece, and I would resell those bottles. If I'm selling them cash and carry, I resell those bottles for $79 and $99. That gives you a $29 profit margin on every bottle that you cash and carry sell. It is important to note, the customer does not get the 30-day money-back guarantee if you do not purchase their bottle through the website. So if you're doing cash and carry sales, it's super easy. You can swipe on your Square. It's a lot faster. You get their email address, you do the processing of the payment, and you're done. But they don't get the 30-day money-back guarantee. So if that's something that's important to them, then what I would do is say, let's do the order on your phone. I have a bottle I can give you, but we'll just return shipment to me. So then when you place their order, the billing address is going to be theirs, the billing information is going to be theirs, but the shipping address is going to be yours to return your inventory if you're giving them a bottle in hand. Make sense? Okay. So let me bring up a picture of a table. All right, so let's switch to screen share and let's take a look at a vendor table. All right, so this is a vendor table that I did at an event. As you can see, this was actually a 2-table setup. So I had 2 tables in an L shape. You don't necessarily have to have 2 tables. In this case, I did. When you're, hopefully you can beg or borrow or get a loaner table from someone if you don't already have one. This is a 6-foot table. On the table that has the HempWorks logo on it, that is a black fitted tablecloth that I got from Amazon for $11.49. And the HempWorks runner I bought from our back office for, I want to say $47 off the top of my head. I didn't look that up before I started this video. Should have done that. I think it was $47. It wasn't super expensive. The tablecloth with the HempWorks logo was much more expensive, so it was more cost effective for me to buy a cheap tablecloth and the runner and put those 2 together. The table that's on the right has another black tablecloth on it. I didn't buy that one from Amazon for $11. That was one I had it's for my dining room table for Thanksgiving dinner. Always try to repurpose things that you already have. So if you look at this table and you see, I've got 3 black boxes in the back where I have product and signage raised up. You want to make sure that you're able to raise some things up on your table to give alternate heights. The 3 black boxes that you see there, I had in my house. They were pink flowered boxes that I had bought at the dollar store for some random reason. And I turned around and spray painted those black, flipped them upside down, and now use them as stackables for my table. The other thing that you can do is, we all have 1,000 Amazon boxes. Amazon boxes are great. You can put them on the table and cover them with a piece of fabric to raise them up. Like if you have, it doesn't even have to be like, you could use a second tablecloth. You could put the boxes under the tablecloth. The table that's on the left-hand side would be better to put boxes underneath because it's not fitted. The table on the right-hand side does have a fitted tablecloth, so that makes it a little bit harder to put boxes underneath to raise things up. The other things, if you look on the right-hand side of the table and, even on the middle of the top and the left-hand side, I've got just some little, they're like bamboo strawberry containers that I flipped upside down and used to raise product up. I think I got those on Amazon. I think there were a dozen for $5. Super, super cheap. The other things that I have on the table is I have acrylic sign holders. So you'll see on the table there are 4 signs that are 8.5 by 11, and I used these. These are acrylic sign holders that I got from Amazon that you just custom design on Word or Canva, a little flyer, and you slide it in. These are acrylic sign holders on Amazon. I got these 3 for $12. So that's a pretty good deal. And I also have some smaller ones as well that I actually already had. So I was repurposing those as well. I'm all about trying to use what you have around the house rather than invest a lot of money. So these are relatively inexpensive. The signage that I made that all on Word. The couple signs, it's kind of hard to see in the picture, but the signs I have on the table is the price for the oil, the now hiring sign, the price for the pet products, and a sign with a picture of my son that talks about how the oil is helping him. The other things I have on my table, Blitz cards are on my table. I have some of these flyers on my table. So this came in your welcome kit that you got from My Daily Choice. And what I did with these was I put them on a color copier and I photocopied them. And then I folded them and put a bunch of them on my table. I also added my website to the bottom of the back before I made the photocopies so that all of these have my website on them. The other things are the 2 bigger signs. This is, it's hard to see, this is a 16 by 20 foam board. I have 2 of them on the table. It's kind of sturdy. So I actually have them set up. These I got from Vistaprint. The base sign for these, the base price for these was $26. And then of course I had a promo code. So I think I got these for $18 a piece. And I have 2 of them. And then I just have them set up on little easels on the table. I got these from Amazon as well. And they were, I think, 5 a pack for $10, something like that. Very inexpensive. In front of the HempWorks for Pets, you'll see another thing with bottles of oil on it. It's glass, it's kind of a square. It's a tea light holder that I had in my house that I went, oh, this would be nice to put oil on top of. So that's something I pulled out of my bedroom. I took the tea lights out of it and I put bottles of oil on top of it. All of the bottles of oil that are on the table are empty. I don't like to put product that people could walk away with out on my table. As you can see, I have a lot of bottles on the table because my family drinks this stuff like water. All of us are taking it, so I have plenty of empty bottles. If you are on my team and you're just getting started and you need to set up your first table and you don't have any empty bottles, you can put your own personal bottle out there. Just be careful and keep an eye on it because people will walk away. Or if you want a couple of extra bottles, hit me up. I've got plenty. I'll mail you a couple to help you get started. Also, the bag of pet treats, same thing. I don't have a pet, but I got someone else to save me their bag. And inside, I just took a picture of what the pet treats look like and put a picture of the cookies inside. And then it's filled with just, actually it has a balloon weight in it and then some styrofoam. So it gives it some weight so it's not going to fall over. And then it puffs up like it looks like it actually has cookies in it. Above the word hemp, on the HempWorks left-hand side of the table, you'll see a vase. And that vase says, enter to win a free bottle of CBD oil. And then I have these raffle slips that I also made. Originally, I made them on Word and copied them on my copier and cut them out. After I realized how many of them I was going to use, I customized these on Vistaprint. I used their notepads, which makes them bound across the top, which is nice. And I keep tons of these on hand. They were not very expensive. I think I don't have the price on these either, but I think they were like maybe $15. But you can do these literally, print them out on Word and run them off on a copier just as easily. You can do them for free. But what you want to do, and you don't necessarily have to say when you're giving away a bottle of free order, or a free bottle of oil, or to be honest, I'm not in a financial position where I can give away a free bottle of oil, but everyone is willing to share their email with me if I tell them they might have a chance at a free bottle of oil. It's slightly dishonest if I'm not actually giving away a free bottle of oil. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do to build your business. And you need to be able to collect those leads to be able to connect with the people later that are not going to purchase from you at the table. So these raffle slips are huge. You can walk away from an event where you only sold one bottle but you collected 52 emails, and then you're able to connect with all of those people post-show. So whether you're really giving away a free bottle of oil or not, smile and say, would you like to enter for a chance to win? And grab their email address. So let's see. Acrylic sign holders, tablecloth foam boards, Blitz cards. I made my sales record is on Word, where if I make a sale, I can record the customer's email address if we didn't put it through the system. What else is on my table? Let me look. Acrylic signs, the 2 big signs. Oh, I wanted to say something about the signs. So these are great on the easels and an indoor event. That does not work well for an outdoor event. You've all seen the table now, so let me go and stop the screen share and go back to a full picture. Hi, there we go. Okay, so these work great on easels for an indoor event. They do not work great on an easel for an outdoor event. Outdoor events, you have to be very concerned with wind, because I'll tell you, there is nothing worse than fighting your table setup all day long, trying to keep everything standing up. So a couple of things that I do when I do an outdoor event, I use these same 16 by 20 signs, but I tape them to the leg of the tent. So imagine the back and the leg of the tent being here. I just put a piece of duct tape across the back and actually tape them to the leg, and I do one on each side. So that's how I utilize those big signs in an outdoor event. And these acrylic sign holders have a nice ledge on the back. So I'm able to, I use those balloon weights to hold them down. So I have a whole bag of balloon weights that I take with me to an outdoor event. So when I set my signage up, I can put the balloon weights along the back so that they're not flapping and blowing in the wind. Vendor events are a really great way to meet a lot of people in a very short time span. It's important to remember that when you're at a vendor event, you not only want to be meeting people to help them experience the product and get to know more about CBD oil, but you also want to be focused on how can I bring more people into the business so that I can help more people in the long run. So I hope that this quick little ditty has given you an idea on how to set up your vendor table without spending a lot of money. You can add things as you go. You don't need a lot to get started. As you saw, that table was very minimalist. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff on it. It's not very cluttered. It's very clean. It's very easy to look at. When someone comes up and they look at your table, they're going to look from left to right. So think about that when you're setting up your table. Stand in front of it, take a look at it, scan it left to right the way somebody is going to look at it, and then kind of juggle things around so that it feels like it has a good flow. It's got to be very feng shui. Make sure that it flows nicely from one side to the other and that they're going to get all the information that you want them to gain in that first glance. Okay, so I have a much more detailed video on vendor events and getting started in vendor events and what to do before, during, and after. I also have a secondary video about follow-up after the events and what to do for follow-up, but this was specific about what you need to set up a table and how to set up your table on a dime without spending a ton of money. So I hope that you found this very informative. And if you have more questions about what to do with your table, how to set it up, or you need some specific help on choosing different things for your table, or you want to take a picture, show it to me, and I'll let you know what I think and try to make some little tweaks and suggestions for you. So I hope you all are having a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.